Oh! Good evening, beautiful spirits. This is Marvin Magnus in another segment of Boxing Logics United. Right now, let's get down to the breakdown and analysis of Anthony Joshua. Recent interview with Sky Sports as he explains why he's supporting Tyson Fury over Deontay Wilder. Oh, let's get it.
It's always good to be joined by this man, the unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua. Anthony, so many questions to ask you about possible opponents in 2020, possible venues as well. But let's, if we can, briefly look back to 2019, a roller coaster year for you. When you look back at 2019, how do you assess that?
2019, how do I assess that? Well, a serious year fighting abroad, tough roads. I'm trying to think and put it all into like a short sentence, you know what I mean? Took in my loss, learned how to deal with that. I feel like I was one of the...
A very serious year fighting abroad. My apologies, let me pause this right now. A very serious year fighting abroad. America has helped Anthony Joshua evolve as a fighter. Facts. His stiffest opponent, opposition, challenge, his first loss, came to an American. So America has helped evolve Anthony Joshua to a better fighter, a more diverse fighter, more versatile fighter, I should say, a boxer, as well as a puncher, bruiser. So that's why it's very, very important that the best come through America, because you really don't know how good they are until they come through the American stage. And there's no hate on anybody around the world. Those are just facts. And they've been proven, okay, by history or with history. They've been proven. Charles Martin isn't a better fighter as Andy Ruiz Jr., nor hell was Dominic Breazeale. So those two guys that Anthony Joshua fought were cotton croppers of the heavyweight boxing division. When he fought somebody that was formidable, he came across his loss. So America's helped Anthony Joshua evolve to become a better fighter. And we all know this, okay? There's a lot of fighters abroad that were scared to ever do that, like Kawasaki. Or you have fighters abroad that wanted to truly test themselves to do that, like Naseem Muhammad. And he did it for a few fights. A couple fights. Ran into a bruising, then he retired. So America is where you really, really test and prove yourself. So peace out to Anthony Joshua for letting him know fighting abroad has helped him become a better fighter. America has helped Anthony Joshua become a better fighter. Those are facts, and it's been proven. All right, let's keep it going, baby.
First heavyweights of stature in the division to take a loss, so it was important to deal with it like a champion. Bouncing back, finishing the year on a high. I had to...
And he definitely did take it as a champion. He took that loss as a champion. And that's why I will always rock with Joshua. I rocked with him then, I will rock with him now, and I will rock with my boy in the future. He took it like a champion. Okay? Real talk. That's the main thing you want to ask of a true champion.
I had one of the best JD Sports parties I've ever seen. I was on stage rapping with Heady One. Boxing aside, lyricist, DJ, everything that an athlete wants to be come out of me, and I just enjoyed it with the people that supported me, and I just ended the year on a high. Now, we're now in 2020 and it's back to business.
Let's look forward to 2020. It should be a good year for you. The two names that you've been linked with, the two names that have been mentioned a lot, the IBF mandatory Kubrat Pulev and the WBO mandatory Alexander Usyk. Can we say it's fair that one of those will probably be the guy that you do fight next?
Yeah, I'll definitely say so because it's mandatory. And then the other situation is the one who I don't fight, I'm sure I'll fight sometime anyway. So even though it's like one or the other, it's one or the other for now. The heavyweight division, everyone's welcome to challenge. So even if it don't happen the first time, one of them will fight me again in the future. So everyone's going to get their chance. That's why I'm not even really worried about who it is because I know sometime down the line I'm going to end up fighting them anyway.
You stoked the fire a little bit recently. Obviously, we saw pictures of you meeting Eddie Hearn and Alexander Usyk's manager. You hashtagged that meeting, Joshua Usyk. Can we look into that? I mean, can you tell us what happened?
Look into it. We mean business. We want to fight the best. I go to these meetings. I don't really post about them, but you have to let people know that you're about that life. When it comes to this heavyweight boxing and you fight the best in the division, that's the best cruiserweight that we've ever seen. And I want to compete with him coming up to heavyweight. People say, oh, he's a cruiserweight. Look what Holyfield done. Phenomenal fighter. So what's to say Usyk can't go on and do great things? But before we see that potential, he has to come through the big boys of the division. And I'll be the first one to challenge him.
Is there a danger that you might have to vacate one of the belts? You've always spoken about how hard you had to work for the belts, the possible undisputed fight, but is there a danger if you don't fight a Pulev or a Usyk that you might have to vacate one of those?
If I didn't, yeah, I'd have to. That's just the way the game goes. And anyone who would be in my position would have to do the same thing. So it's not as if I'm getting singled out and I'm like, oh, why are they against me? It's just the name of the game. And I've got to take it like a man and think, all right, it's gone for now. But as I said, the heavyweight division is like a roller coaster and it will soon come back around.
UK fight fans are desperate.
Anthony Joshua has to be the most intelligent fighter when it comes to answering media questions. Anthony Joshua is like amazing. Of course, Tyson Fury is amazingly witty and very intelligent with his answers as well. But we're talking about the champions, whether you're talking about the Unified, Lineal, or WBC. Anthony Joshua is the most wisest with his answers, especially when you look at the sense of course, fortunately and unfortunately, far as the endorsements that he has. The endorsement that he has, he's been highly well trained in answering questions properly, but also answering them in a real way. You know what I'm saying? So a way that will try to cut out any way people like me and others would try to look in and splice it and everything and try to dissect it and say, oh, hold up. He's very, very masterful in answering questions. And that's really, very great. That's really good. I also don't like the pressure that, because the endorsements he has and how the image that the UK and maybe UK and the endorsements, the pressure it puts on him for answering questions politically correct all the time. You know what I mean? I love the Joshua that can cut loose, like he did ringside at the Dylan White Chisora fight. You know what I'm saying? I love that Joshua, and we need to see a little bit more of that Joshua again. You know? So, let's continue.
See you fight back in the UK. Not fought here since Alexander Povetkin, September 2018. Tottenham's been earmarked as a possible destination. I mean, is that likely Tottenham possible?
Why not? It's a great opportunity. I think the reasons is because it's crazy to say like this, but Wembley sold out, and it's crazy to even think that we can just throw Wembley or Cardiff out there like that. It's a blessing. So to even have the opportunity to go to Tottenham is a blessing for me. I'll be happy to fight in the O2 if that was an opportunity as well. But there's a big buzz around the heavyweight division right now, and the more people to come, the more the merrier. So Tottenham is open. Tottenham it is. So I'll be there with the OFB boys, Heady One, them and they're rapping me out, you know what I mean? It'll be sick, so I'm all for it.
I was in Saudi Arabia for the Andy Ruiz fight. Over there, you didn't even want to mention the possibility of fighting Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. You said you've got business to do. You handled that business. Those questions aren't going to come now about Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. What is the real likelihood of you fighting any of those guys back end of 2020 or early 2021?
We've had meetings, so that same meeting with the Usyk's manager, after that we had another meeting potentially to kind of put an offer in place to solidify that fight before they've even had their fight and I've even had my next fight, providing we both win. I think for a reason, everyone wants Wilder to win because that's the fight everyone wants to see. So Wilder's got a big right hand, I've got a great left hand. So it's going to be a matchup of a great boxing match, and that's the one that everyone wants to see. So we had a meeting about that. It's a great potential. I heard they have a 5-fight lined up towards the end of the year, but what we have to do is throw a curveball in there, something that gets Wilder's attention, providing he wins, that he'll think to himself, you know what, even though I do have this rematch clause, I'm going to see how I can manipulate my contract and get out of it and fight for the undisputed championship of the world.
Tyson Fury.
Anthony Joshua wants to be unified heavyweight champion, undisputed. My apologies. He wants to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world so bad it don't make no goddamn sense. Yo! Joshua wants to be undisputed. And I strongly understand why he does. Because it's legacy. It's truly legacy. Also, he was being a quite dishonest poet there earlier, talking about Wilder has a good right hand, I have a good left hand, blase, blase. In my opinion, Joshua's right hand is much better than his left hand. He has a good left hook, don't get it twisted. But the right hand is very good. The straight right and the right uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So I think he threw that in there. Joshua has a good both hands. True indeed. But that's the poet in him, you know what I'm saying, of spinning the shit. And we can see that with a lot of the posts he do. The poetic side of Joshua, the poetic pugilism, a part of him. And that's real. That's real. And he's correct. Everybody wants to see Joshua and Wilder. America versus the UK. The build up, the hype up, the talk, trash, between just not only Wilder and Joshua, but Wilder and Eddie Hearn, all of that over the last year and a half or so. So that is the biggest fight to be made. And let's make it happen as soon as possible. So PBC, I understand the type of business and contract you have Wilder under, but let Wilder go. Like, let my people go. Let motherfucking Wilder go so he can handle this business. And whether it comes out positive or negative, that's just how the ball's going to bounce. Or how the head going to bounce off that motherfucking canvas. You feel me? But let this happen. You're going to have the rematch clause without a doubt. Wilder's going to make more in this fight than he's made his entire career. What are you waiting on? Al Heyman. So, and Shelly Finkel. So what are y'all waiting on? Because I don't think it's up to Wilder. I think Wilder wants the fight. Real talk. Of course, there's a bunch of propaganda and bullshit media out there saying Wilder's this, Wilder's that, he's ducking, blase, blase. That was there in the Klitschko times. I think Wilder is ready now. So I think Wilder wants to fight. Real talk. So it's now up to Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel, Shelly Winkle, to go ahead and make that fight. Let Wilder have his pass, his fight free card, and go ahead and fight for undisputed champion of the world. It's just like that. Let's proceed, baby.
He said some things about you, as Tyson Fury always does. He said if you were to fight Deontay Wilder, that fight ends in 2 rounds, you'll get knocked out. What do you make of that opinion, from Tyson Fury?
Wow, that's the same man that betted on Charles Martin to beat me, Joseph Parker to beat me. So the first time I would have listened, the second, third, and fourth time you get it wrong, you start realising that he's a bit of a waffler. So
waffler.
Yes,
what does that mean? A waffler. He's a bit of a waffler.
He spoke to McGregor on the phone, and that was a lie as well. So what can we believe when it comes to Tyson Fury these days?
All right, final question. Tyson Fury also said that before he retires, that he will fight you, he'll fight Wilder, he'll fight Dillian White. Do you believe any of this?
That's what I'm talking about. That's the talk I respect. That's boxing talk, straight to the point, and that's what I'm about. So the doors are open. Firstly, good luck for your fight in February. We're wishing you well. Bring the belts back here, and then imagine having that.
That's
fight
what I'm talking about
well.
too, Josh. That's what I respect.
So that's why I'm supporting Fury, because I think, imagine like the local kids, right, locally that are down Tottenham or not being able to watch the undisputed championship of the world on their doorstep. They've got to catch a little Uber or a little taxi down the road or ride their pedal bike to the stadium. How unbelievable would that be? So that's why I'd love it to be here in the UK. So good luck to him. I'm wishing him well.
Good luck to you as well, Anthony Joshua. Thanks for talking to Sky Sports. Cheers.
And that is, he's actually right. That will have a great influence on UK boxing and the younger generation. It would inspire them, okay? And just like Lennox Lewis inspired them, not only in the UK, but also in Canada, you know what I mean, in Jamaica, whatever. So that's real. And, but again, we want that fight. Y'all want that fight. I want the fight as well versus Joshua and Tyson Fury. I want to see that fight tremendously. But Joshua Wilder is the fight. That is the fight. Not only in the UK, but also on America's side. So the Joshua and Fury fight would do great in the UK. I was the first to say I think that should do over 10 million pay-per-views in the UK. Or it will smash the previous record that Joshua and Ruiz did. Joshua and Tyson Fury, oh, you know what I mean? I know that do great in the UK, but it will not do great in the United States. And the Dazzin is looking for United States. So, the Joshua and Wilder fight, of course, is where the money more so would be at globally, on a global scale. So, I'm all with that. And also, it's funny with Joshua answering these interviews, because if you look at Joshua's eyes, his eyes is always anticipating what the interviewer perhaps is about to say or is going to say or whatever, which, you know, I could read his eyes and see that he's like, what angle you coming from? Okay. And that's dope dealing with Joshua. Probably one of the most intelligent fighters of our age, most definitely. Peace to Baba Yaga, and peace to you all, because I am grateful for you guys sitting in for about 17, 18 minutes, listening to another segment of Boxing Logics United with Myra Magnus. Good night. Evelina, loved one, peace and pugilism.